Hello Summoners, Matthew from the Nintendo Treehouse here with some quick tips for the Fire Emblem Heroes game. Once again, the time has come for the Dance Festival. This year, characters from the Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War game have been invited to the ball. Their world is one of nobility established by the Crusaders of a time long past. Most of them grew up as a part of the nobility and learned how to conduct themselves for social occasions like this. Now, we get a chance to see them interact outside the backdrop of battle. Not surprisingly, all of them have come to dance at the ball as dancing units. Sigurd of Chalphy is attending with his love Deirdre together as a dual hero. While fighting a campaign in Verdane, Sigurd finds Deirdre in the Spirit Forest, and it was love at first sight. Despite the warnings that Deirdre was given throughout her life, Sigurd convinces Deirdre that he can protect her from anything that comes, so she joins him into normal society. Now the two are married, and still very much in love. Even though the setting of the ball highlights the differences between their younger lives, you can tell that these two treasure every moment they have together. As a unit in Fire Emblem Heroes, Sigurd and Deirdre work as a magic tank that can offer their team unique movement options with their dual skill, and give an ally another action in one turn. Between their weapon, Gilt Goblet, and their various skills, Sigurd and Deirdre can increase their attack by the equivalent of plus 16 and resistance by plus 18 if all conditions are met. On top of their high attack and resistance, Gilt Goblet also reduces damage from magic and area effects if the foe initiates combat or the foe has full HP. This makes them a very effective magic tank that can punish hard. Attack Resistance Bond and Joint Hone Resistance both require the duo to stay close to their allies, so don't let them wander off alone if you want to take full advantage of their kit. Finally, their duo skill can reposition up to 2 allies, even if they've already performed an action in the same turn. This skill can be used even after dancing for an ally, so that you can then move the refreshed ally into a good position for the next attack. The skill can be used defensively as well. I think Sigurd and Deirdre work great as a support to a strong offensive team. They can be used to lure in strong magic foes, or help other units quickly close the distance for an assault. As for seals, I would suggest warding stance to further increase their magical defense, or give them quick riposte to allow this low-speed unit a chance to do follow-up attacks when they are tanking. Since they don't have a special assigned to them, I might suggest giving them Miracle for their special so that they can take an extra hit as a tank. Next up is Sigurd's longtime friend Quan, together with Sigurd's sister Ethlyn. Quan has known Sigurd since they both went to study at an academy when they were younger. Sometime after Quan returned home from the academy, he found a perfect match in Sigurd's tomboyish sister Ethlyn. Although she had a reputation of being opinionated and rough when she was younger, Ethlyn can now also play the part of a proper noble and seems more comfortable at the ball than her husband is. Although they've been together longer than Sigurd and Deirdre and have had children, the love between these two has never been stronger. Quan is the first flying bow dance unit in the game, and he works strategically as a mirror to Sigurd and Deirdre since Quan boosts strong defense instead of resistance. Like Sigurd and Deirdre, Quan has a bond skill and a joint hone skill with conditions that require an ally to be close to him. With all the conditions of those skills, along with his weapon Courtly Bow, he can increase his defense by plus 17 to become an effective physical tank despite being a flying bow unit. Although he has extremely low speed, his bow also has the damage of the first attack of any enemy that can double him as long as his HP is 50% or more. On a flying team, Quan can increase his movement options with flyer formation. Quan is a great match for flying teams that can take advantage of his movement and defense buffs. Since he is weak to bow attacks, I would suggest Iote's Shield for his seal. I also recommend inheriting Ignis for his special, since it takes advantage of his high defense, and he will be doubled often when acting as a tank. Unlike her husband, Ethlyn is an extremely fast dancing unit that can prevent counters to her attacks thanks to her high speed. When Ethlyn initiates combat, her weapon Courtly Fan increases her attack and speed, while her skill Wind Sweep blocks her foe from countering her if she has higher speed than that foe and the foe uses a physical attack. Courtly Fan also prevents skills that stop her follow-up from being used against her. To aid her in being quicker than her foe, Ethlyn has Joint Drive Speed to increase her speed further along with any ally within 2 spaces of her.
Got it.
Also, with her skill ARD Attack Speed, Ethlyn can greatly increase her attack and speed when defending an Aether Raids, making her an extremely dangerous opponent for any player trying to attack her team. She can attack without consequence and inflict penalties on surrounding foes, or dance for another defender to make your team's movement more unpredictable. To ensure that she keeps the upper hand in speed when attacking, I might suggest the Darting Blow Seal. I think specials with a 2 cooldown, like Glimmer or Moonbow, are a good fit since her foes shouldn't have many opportunities to counter her.
Like this, right? And now
Finally, we have Lachesis of Nordion. In the original game, Lachesis' relationships were guided by the player, but it's no secret that she has deep affections for her brother Eldigan. The two of them learned how to dance together when they were young, and now find themselves at the ball for another chance to dance. Lachesis is proud of her country, family, and ability. Because of this, she can be pretty picky about her dance partner, and will likely have a lot to say to anyone lucky enough to get the chance. Among this group, Lachesis works best as a more traditional support dancing unit that can also take a hit if needed. For support, Lachesis has a cantrip skill to inflict foes closest to her with penalties to defense, air orders to help increase the movement options of flying allies, and has a dagger effect on her weapon to inflict her target and other foes near her target with penalties to defense and resistance. Like Sigurd and Deirdre, Lachesis boasts a fairly high attack and resistance. If she has at least half of her HP, her weapon, Courtly Mask, also has an effect that halves the damage of a foe's first attack if the foe can make a follow-up attack. This allows her to survive magic attacks and punish hard. To take full advantage of air orders, I would suggest teaming her up with an all-flying team that could benefit from the extra movement. The defense cantrip skill can help your team move in for a more effective assault to finish a battle quickly. For her seal, I might suggest Flyer Formation to improve her own movement options on a flying team, Flyer Guidance to help improve her allies' movement around her, or Blaze Dance to help an ally further take advantage of the effects of defense cantrip after Lachesis dances. Since Lachesis may not attack as much as other units, I would suggest Moonbow, or if you plan on using her as a magic tank, I might use Noontime instead, so that she can continue to benefit from the damage reduction effects of her weapon. Although there was little chance to see the cast interact in a casual event in the original game, they all understand that the dance floor can be a battlefield in its own way. These units are all dancing units that also offer other functionality to the teams they take part in. And do not forget to check out Tempest Trials for another story and the opportunity to add Eldigan, Strutting Lion, to your army. That's all for today, Summoners. See you on the dance floor.